So, good afternoon. Podcast settings, obviously a day later than usual. But we are going to go through that shambolic, pathetic, weak, spineless Arsenal performance the other day. And we're going to dissect it and decide why this manager hasn't been sacked. But Kenny, seems like I ain't seen you for ages, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I said yesterday was like a hard day. And it was like goodbye. And it was very, very hard to let go for all of us because it was just, just walking away and, leaving a big man there was hard to take. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like the final curtain, and it was just nice to have people, be there, invite by his family and everything. And it just, it was real life. But the life, the thing we're talking about is Thursday. I don't know what's more disappointing, the result or the fact, the way we shaped up, the handbrake on and handbrake off, and the way there was no urgency during the semi-final. I just found it hard to take, hard to accept.
Yeah, it weren't good, and yeah, man, you did him proud yesterday, mate. Like, listen, I would have snapped like a deck of cards if I was trying to carry that coffin, mate. So, listen, they needed a bit of muscle in there, Kenny, and you done him well, mate. You done him well. Afsal, how are you, man?
Yeah, all good, Lee. All good. Hope yesterday went well. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it yesterday. Was gutted, but yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't. But yeah, hope it all went well, and hope you guys did Claude proud.
No, nice one, man. Nice one. Jez, hope you're good, mate.
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, as Asphalt just said, I mean, it was a horrible day yesterday for you guys, and yeah, the true legend gone, and I'm just glad that you guys were there to give him the big send off. So big up to you.
No, nice one, mate. And Chig will be back again. I'd imagine he's probably having internet issues. He will be back again, but let's just get straight into it, Kenny. Actually, I'll wait. Chig is back. Chig is back. His internet's playing up, but he's back. Are you good, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm all good. Apart from the football club being a shambles, I'm good.
Well,
yeah.
Unfortunately, as disappointed as we are, it's a testament. I suppose it shows that none of us are really that surprised. That perhaps the biggest illustration of our problems, and neither would have Claude. Claude would have been the least surprised out of all of us from yesterday.
Yep, facts, mate. Absolute facts. Let's get into it, Kenny. Obviously, I don't think anyone was really confident deep down. I think, like, after the first leg, we see how they took us apart. Leno keeping us in the game, really, and then Bukayo Saka played the game and won us a penalty, which wasn't a penalty, let's be real. But I think over the two legs, I think the better team went through. Same as last year when we played Olympiacos, the better team went through over the two legs. And we kind of, I don't want to sit and say we called it because we didn't, but we were all kind of nervous for that game. There weren't many people that were confident of a win. And, we had the whole clap the players into the stadium and all that crap. What a load of rubbish. But they just didn't want it. They genuinely looked like they couldn't care less, especially first half. Like the first half, you're thinking, let's get out there, let's start quick, let's try and get an early goal, and then they'll have to come out and then we can rip them on the break. But they just did nothing. Second half, they came out a couple of half chances in the first 5 minutes of the second half, but it weren't like their goalkeeper was making mad save after mad save after mad save. It was just limp. What did you think of it overall?
You know what? You should be shocked. He's picked on paper an attacking team. He had the misfortune to him of Xhaka being injured in warm up and having to play Tierney, and you would have thought with Tierney and Bellerin on them, who were orthodox fullbacks, you would have generally thought that we're going to be on the front foot, we're going to attack, and then once again.
Kenny's Wi-Fi is...
Yeah,
your Wi-Fi is really crazy, Kenny.
Nah, you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah. So he got scared stiff of Chukwueze, and then what happened? started on handbrake off, and that was it. Game over. We were never able to get that sort of tempo back. And it was only after we hit the post a couple of times, tried it in the last 5 minutes to try and up the tempo. Too late. They were too comfortable. They were better than us in every department. They passed the ball better than us. They were fitter than us. Won every second ball, and they had more urgency. They seemed to be the one team that was a goal behind, and not us. Fully deserved what we got. We deserved nothing, and I'm afraid people are now seeing that the 90% of our losses are actually down to this manager, not VAR, not bad performances. This manager's preparation and his tactics. And sadly, for Arsenal, the one time he wanted to get it right, he reverted back to type, and that's why we're out of Europe, and that's why this man should be replaced and dismissed.
Yeah, I can't agree more, mate. Like, Afsal, let me come to you. When you see the starting 11 and you see Bellerin back in after Chambers has put in some really good performances recently, then you see, like, you see Granit Xhaka go down in the warm-up and you think, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's not the end of the world, Granit Xhaka not being in the starting 11, but Tierney was so poor, man. You could see he weren't ready, hence why he was on the bench. But then his substitutions in the second half were just baffling, mate. You've left Aubameyang, you took Aubameyang off when we need a goal, right? And you bring on Willian, who hasn't scored a goal all season. I mean, what did you make of it all that?
I think his decisions in the two legs were really, really poor. Starting from that false nine in the first leg, Xhaka at left back in the first leg, not taking off Ceballos in the first leg, to the poor substitution of Aubameyang, to Bellerin playing at right back, to not starting Martinelli. There's countless of decisions that he completely made wrong. In my opinion, Villarreal are not a great side, but at the same time, we're a very bad side as well. The difference was they had more of a tactician than we did, simple as that. They were disciplined. That is the perfect word to describe Villarreal. Disciplined, very disciplined in both legs. They kept it tight at the back. They don't have any superstars in their team, but then nor do we as well. Emery got the complete better of Arteta. As simple as that. Arteta's inexperience showed massively in these two matches, and I think this season has showed that he's not. Unfortunately, he's not up to the job, and the club, if they so-called want to still call themselves a big club, which I don't think we are now, by the way, they need to sack him come the end of the season and try get someone else in. And by someone else, I mean a big name. None of this, we need a big name to sort out the situation in the club, because from top to bottom, it's a mess, from the owners to the board members, to the recruiters, to the players, everything is a mess, I was telling you, Lee, the other day in our interview that since obviously I was a huge Wenger, but since Wenger's gone, all of our signings, we've signed a lot of players since Wenger's gone, right? And have any of those signings, apart from maybe Tierney, you thought, wow, they've been great. They've completely, done their job and blah, blah, blah. Have any of these big signings done what was required for them? Of course not. The Torreira experiment failed. The Socrates experiment failed. The Pepe's one hasn't succeeded, in my opinion. Yeah, he's improved in the last couple of months, but £72 million, no. Partey's been really poor since January. It's like every player we've got is just failing, and I don't know what it is now. I know, yes, managers obviously to blame because he hasn't helped himself one bit, but some of the players, they've really disappointed me this season. I think there's only 3 players this season that can hold their heads high, which is Saka, Smith Rowe, and Tierney. I think the others, none of them have played by their top potential. Aubameyang has been very disappointing. Yes, he should have never come off that day because he was that guy who was actually looking likely to score for us. And with Aubameyang on the pitch, you never know. He could be poor for 90 minutes, but he could still score 2 goals. We've seen it before this season. So, and he is at the end of the day, he is our top goal scorer. He had, before this season, he was great for us for 3 seasons. So you got to leave him on the pitch, right? You brought on a Willian who he was a good player at Chelsea, by the way, but at Arsenal, he's probably had one or two good games in the whole season, maybe one good game, which was the first game. I mean, there was other players he could have taken off, really, instead of our top scorer, centre forward, who's bailed us out of situations over the years. Yes, he's been poor this year, but over the years, he's bailed us out and he's been great. So it was strange. Unfortunately, the Arteta experiment has not worked out, and I can't see it working out even next season. I think what's going to happen is they're going to give him till Christmas next season, and then like what they did with Emery, if it's not working out, they'll sack him. I wanted him to succeed. As you know, I did back him. I see the difference between me and others is I backed him, right? I said to myself, I'm going to give him a whole season. I'm going to judge him at the end of the season. My aim is I want Arsenal back in the Champions League. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't get that, then for me, he hasn't succeeded. If he gets that, then for me, fair play. But in my opinion, obviously, we haven't got Champions League. So he hasn't succeeded in what he was brought in for. So unfortunately, nothing personal at all, but I just think it's time to go. And this process, I mean, like I said, I backed him, I liked him, but I was never a believer of the process, because for me, clubs can't have 4 years. Everyone said, oh, this process is a 4-year cycle. No, it's not a 4-year cycle, right? The process is you've got to start getting results straight away. That should be a process, yeah? None of this wait 4 years and wait this. No. It's now or never, because that's how it is in football. Look at Tuchel. Chelsea got him in when they sacked a legend when they were struggling. He came in. He's done wonders, absolute wonders at the club. That's what you call making a quick impact. And that's what I wanted of Arteta. But it hasn't happened. And yeah, unfortunately, it's time to go at the end of the season.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that, mate. Like the three players you listed that have had a good season were all given their debuts by the former manager. And all performed very well under the former manager, to the point where we were all raving about Saka, and Smith Rowe obviously went on loan, but he still played very well in the games that he played under Unai Emery. And he has been good in fits and bursts this season. I don't like him playing left forward. I prefer him at that number 10 position. I think he's so much better than Martin Odegaard. I think he drives forward more. I think he's more physical. Odegaard has some lovely touches, but don't get involved in the game for me. Smith Rowe, at least he cares. He's Arsenal through and through, and at least he tries to grab a game. Do you know what I mean? Martin Odegaard just hid the other night. But Jez, let me come on to you, man. Obviously, we got ditched out by our former manager. And can I just say as well, well done to Unai Emery, because if that was me, I'd be rubbing it in everyone's faces. I'd be on the centre circle having a party with the rest of the players. He was very professional manager with the way he went about it. Yeah, very classy, man. He walked straight down the tunnel. His interview after the game, he was like full of praise for the club. He had no bad words to say. But where do we go from here, James? Because obviously, like this comment here, big up to everyone who is watching, nearly 700 people. Smash the likes up, please. Make sure you follow all the guys' socials. I'll have them in the description in a second. But he says there's no money in the summer. The board are playing a long game. Nothing's going to change. Do you think we are going to sack him? Or do you think that they're going to try and ride this out? Because listen, there's been a protest the other week. There was some feeble attempt the other night. Do you think that they're going to look for a way to get fans back on side, or do you think they're going to stick with Arteta and try and push through it with their PR game?
I think they're going to stick with him, mate, for the moment. I think if the board had any bollocks, they'd have sacked him Friday morning. Didn't happen. I wanted it to happen. I never wanted this bloke. I said that from day one, like yourself and many others. I think the board are going to play the long game. As Zal said, maybe they'll keep him till Christmas, which I think is a total farce and big mistake. I did see a comment actually on Sky Sports News today that it's a rumour that they're going to stick with him and invest. Invest in what? Because let's be fair now. We've got at least 8 players at this club that need to go. We haven't got any European football next season. we all know the big boys, decent players, they want European football. And, 27 years we're in European football, now we're out. And yet again, Arteta, you broke another record, mate. Well done. You're fabulous at it. You're a complete prick, and you destroyed this football club. And I'm still angry, Lee. I'm still angry about Thursday. The team didn't turn up, but I think that is partially down to the fact that Arteta has no tactics. His process of no tactics, I think, reflects in the play. I don't think the players know his tactics. They're all so confused. And I said this a few weeks back now. I think the players are pissed off with him because he keeps chopping and changing. There's no fluidity in the team, no consistency. There's no passion. There's no drive. It is just boring. If it wasn't for the fact, Lee, I'll be honest with you now, if it wasn't for the fact I was doing a fan cam with you on Thursday night, I would have turned that off. I was that bored. In the first.
We never looked like scoring, did we? Let's be honest here.
Never.
We never looked like we were going to score. The one thing I took from that game, right, is especially in the first half, their goalkeeper's crap, by the way. Like coming, he's worse than Leno, coming out and flapping at punches and like, what is he doing? The one thing I'll say is when the ball's at his feet, that guy puts Leno in the bin. Like literally, with the ball at his feet, he was so composed, their goalkeeper. And these Spanish teams and Portuguese teams as well, they're so technically good. Yeah, and I find it baffling because we've got so many players from overseas in this country now. How can we not have a team that is good technically? Like they were just popping it around, never under pressure. Even when they messed one up, they just get a last-ditch tackle in, get the ball back and pass it around the back and play their way out again. When we're doing it, Leno's putting it in the stands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like everything seemed rushed. But I just never thought we'd score, Jez. Real talk. I didn't think we'd get a goal in that game.
I flicked back through that game, and I counted, I think I'm right in saying this, there's only 4 times during that game Arsenal put 4 passes together, which is shocking. I mean, most of the time it's 2 passes, lose the ball. And it's always sideways, backwards, sideways. How many times do we see players? I mean, I know Tierney tried, but he's not fit. Belen tried, but he just can't cross a ball to save his life. And it's just, there's no incisive attacking play. Arsenal used to play brilliant football and it was great to watch, but it was attacking. It's just across the park all the time. It's you're never going to win a game of football like that. And Emery had Arsenal sussed. The players were trying to go wide. He's making his players push him inside, and never going to happen, mate. And I know Aubameyang was unlucky, hitting the post twice, but again, you got 6-7 minutes to go. You need to score a goal in a semi-final, and you take him off. Well,
yeah, when he's actually genuinely been the only goal threat on the pitch. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like the first one where he hit the post, I was like, I actually put a tweet out about 5 minutes before he hit the post saying, "It's about time we bring Aubameyang on." And then he nearly shut me up and he hit the post, didn't he? And that was a great little effort, but that's him all over, instinctive, just a quick snapshot. But when I see the header, I was jumping up and down. I thought it was in. And I was like, it's hit the post. But I don't think I said this to you guys on the night. He's recovering from malaria. And I know he's skinny. I'm skinny. I've got a skinny little face, little jawline and all that. He looked ill, mate. His face, for a skinny guy, he looked just bone. Real talk. And I don't know whether that played a part in him coming off. But if that's the case, then don't start the guy.
No,
because he didn't look on it. Yes, he had 2 chances. He should have scored them both. Really, a player of his caliber should be burying them. But he didn't look right, mate. I think you're right. I think a lot of these players ain't playing for him. I think a lot of them don't want him here, and I think that they're confused as well. Like you said, that every week it's a different back 4. Every week it's a different 3 in midfield. Every week it's a different 3 out front. How are you going to get any level of cohesion in patterns of play in that team when you're constantly chopping and changing the formation and changing the personnel? Stick with it And if one player gets injured, you then put a replacement in. You know, playing Xhaka at left back like this season, I mean, I'm sorry, just because he's left-footed, don't mean he's any good at left back. You know, people say, "Oh, but we kept clean sheets." Whoopee! Yeah, we are 10th in the table. Leeds have just gone above us again, and we're out of the Europa League. We got dumped out the FA Cup. Everything was going into this Europa League, and he set us up wrong. He didn't have a clue what he was doing. And do you know what it reminded me of before I come to Chig as well? Do you know what it reminded me of? You know, when we played Frankfurt and Unai Emery see himself on the big screen and he was like that, stroking his chin, yeah? And you just knew that was the end for him. He did that the other night, Arteta. He went like, you know, I thought, yeah, that's an Unai Emery moment, mate. You're done. You know you're done. And I think that a lot of the players have turned on him. I think, you know, I see a guy in the chat, and big up to everyone watching, is over 800. Make sure you smash the likes up, people. All of their links are in the description of this video as well, so follow the guys as well. But do you know what? I see a guy in the chat, and I pinned it, saying that he hasn't been backed. Well, neither's David Moyes. You know, neither's Thomas Tuchel. You know, Thomas Tuchel came in, he's had 24 games, got them to 2 finals and 4th in the table. They were 4 points ahead of us in 9th when they sacked Lampard. Yeah, so you know, you don't need a pre-season. You don't need your own players. You just need to have some level of coaching ability that is not rookie level. Yeah, and I said this on every show all week. I said anyone with any tactical nous pulls his pants down. Unai Emery's levels, but Chig, where do we go, man? What do we do? Like, who would you like to see come in? Give me some candidates. Give me some ideas on squad and stuff like that. Players you want to see come in as well.
Blimey, 21 minutes. Well, hello, everyone.
Sorry, mate. Blame Afsal. He was waffling for 15
Listen,
of them.
Chig, it used to be 35 minutes back in the day, yeah? So be great when it's only 21 minutes.
Well, yeah. For me, I think, do you know what was really interesting to me today, actually? Right, my sister, right, she's obviously, as some of you guys know, I've just been dealing with a bit of an injury. I've got some mobility stuff, and from time to time, my sister will pop over just to check I'm cool. And the first thing she popped into me and said was, "What is he still doing it?" And I was like, "Who? Like Mikel Arteta? What's he still doing it?" And I said, "Good question. I honestly have no idea what he's still doing here. Because even the staunchest of Mikel Arteta supporters who clung on to every excuse in the book, and like I said to you, for me, it was therapeutic watching them this weekend all fall off the wagon at the same time with various different reasons. Oh, well, he should be sacked, and he ought to be sacked, and there's nothing. I can't defend him no longer. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful watching them backtrack and using the same sentences, the same words that for months we've been using. Oh, well, how can we give a novice such a job? And, he was never experienced. He was never suitable for the job. Yada, 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 this, yada, 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 that. And in my mind, I'm like, you disgraceful, unbelievable. Because 6 months ago, when we were saying that, we were rats.
Yep. Hence Master Smith in the top corner.
We weren't supporters of the club. We didn't have their best interests at heart. We were being unreasonable.
Yeah,
we were doing it to refuse. we were doing it to not be popular. Instead of just looking at it, taking a step back and being reasonable, i.e., what did Mikel Arteta do to warrant such undisputed support? What, because he won an FA Cup? Whoop-de fucking do. Now look at the position we're in. You see, the decision that Chelsea made is the one that we should have. That is the difference between success and failure in this game. Chelsea recognized very quickly that, listen, their way is not a popular way, but it brings success. They identified a manager who I still don't think long-term will be amazing, but short-term, who gives a flying fuck? Will bring them that success. because he'll organise them, which is what he's done. He'll get them the results, which is what he's done. And he brought them to a major cup final. Who gives a fuck about long-term culture, long-term PR, managerial fit, making sure that they're fit for the next 10 years, which is always the bullshit that you hear from Mikel Arteta supporters. Oh, well, we're trying to make sure that we're building something for the next 10 years and this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other. Cool. That's keeping me warm now, because now I'm watching my team with nothing to fight for the end of the season, and hoping that the managerial system that we still have in place, right, sees the sense and actually fires them. And this is what I always said to you, Lee. It's one thing it being obvious that the man should be fired, but now these will actually have to step up. Now this is where you look towards your Binais, you look towards your Edus, and say, okay, TikTok, what's happening? Now I'm hearing all these stories about Allegri this, Allegri that. At this point, I couldn't care less. Just get Arteta out. Get him out first. And then if it's Allegri that you've decided on, great. Experienced. I don't know how well he speaks English or whatever, but at least he's experienced. He's a big name. He'll drive him. Let's go and get him. My personal choice is still Rafa. He knows the league inside out. Big name. Another winner. Will drive him to win something. But as long as we get this mistake out, you try to experiment. We allowed you to do so. Now you owe us one. Act decisively and get these motherfuckers out. That's all I ask. That's the only thing I ask for.
Mate, let me read this out to you real quick, lads, yeah, and you can come back on this, Chig, yeah? Right. Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich told Thomas Tuchel he was only interested in winning trophies when he was brought to the club to replace Lampard. This is from Bild via Sport Witness, yeah? Right. Abramovich told Thomas Tuchel, I don't care where you had trouble with any club bosses or where there were any complications. Here at Chelsea, only one thing is important. You are here to win titles. Chelsea coaches bring the title. How you do that is totally irrelevant to us. Yeah, that, Chig, that shows the fucking levels of that football club. I don't care what you've had in the past with Dortmund and PSG with your problems with the hierarchy. Here, we win titles, mate. Yeah, and he's told him straight in that, basically win a fucking title or you're sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mad. Well,
that's what any strong business will do, is strong leadership. That's why people are so desperate for this owner change. You know, for me, it hasn't got fuck all to do with money. Fuck the money. Fuck the money. I just want someone to be able to come out there and say, you know what? I want this. I want us to be this. I want us to be successful, win trophies. However you do that, I couldn't care less. But the minute that you start showing signs of not doing that, guess what happens? TikTok, top, move on. That's not about being classy or being the Arsenal way. That's just about being successful. That's all that is. I don't see what's wrong with that either. I don't think what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
Mate, I had Dammy on here the other night. Afternoon actually it was. Big up to Dammy as well. Follow him, the Grand Dam. Do you know what he said? He made a fantastic point. Listen, it's a free for all. You can all jump in from now. I just wanted to ask certain questions before you can all jump in. But he said on here, he said Chelsea have a process, but the process is not manager linked. It is club linked. So the process in season number 1, when Lampard first came in, get top 4. Yeah, we want Champions League football. Yeah, he did that, so that got a big tick next to his name. Season number 2, win a trophy or at least compete for a title. Yeah, well, they're now sacked Lampard, but the process is still there. because they've gone and hired a coach who's now got them to 2 finals. So that process is still plodding along very nicely, and they could potentially win them both. Yeah, they could potentially lose them both, but Tuchel will probably stay because he came in halfway through. The 3rd season, he said, which is next season, you have to go all out for a title. Yeah, you have to go all out for a title. And and I said this, and I'll put a tweet out there, yeah, that if he's sat 10th at Christmas, he's getting sacked. Yeah, regardless of if he wins both of these cups, they will sack him. Yeah, and that is the difference for me, is that their process, as you want to call it, is a constant baby steps process to the bigger picture. Why is it at Arsenal, ours is the bigger picture and there's no baby steps? We just have to wait 10 years. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Personally, I've said it before, I get cussed for it every day. The fans of this fan base over the whole masses are a fucking shambles. Absolute shambles. But listen,
Lee,
you guys can take it, man.
I think the thing is, right, is that we've said it many times. I spoke to Jez, I spoke to everyone in here. It's bigger than that. The reason why Chelsea can say that is because they actually can back it. Everything in Chelsea is built for success. Academy, training grounds, and the people behind the scenes. That means is that a manager's got no excuse because everything's laid in place. And the mantra, the women's coach, Emma Hayes, the first thing she was saying, and we was it in our bones, we have glory in our bones to win trophies. That's what we are at Chelsea. Tuchel went and said that. That is the mentality. Man City is the same sort of thing. People behind the scenes are the best in the business. The academy is the best. The training ground in Canada is the best. Unlike United, was a mess. And they've got the right people behind the scenes. That is a winning mentality. And you can say that at Arsenal, everything nice. Nice players, nice coach, nice fans. No ambition whatsoever. The thing with the Kroenkes, right, is that they've got an open goal here now. They've got an open goal. No one wants you. You say you want to appease the fans, but go and appease the fans. Don't just spend the money on trying to get players. Get rid of the people who are not working. Villa isn't working. Sack him. Get the best person in the business. Edu is not good at his job. Sack him. Get the best transfer negotiator in the business. Then first of all, get the right manager. And then what you do, you go and find that and say, all right, is this Highland academy as good as we all think? Because if it's good, why have the best boys in London still go to Chelsea? Yeah. Why have Chelsea got a situation where they are basically refinancing their transfer budget by getting all these guys on loan, then selling them and using all the money to buy players? What's Chelsea doing right? We're doing wrong. There's no good saying, oh, we're a big club in Chelsea because we're 1886, they're in 1905, and they're just they're oil money. They're doing something right. So if Chelsea and Man City are doing it right, why don't you go there and shadow them and say, what are you doing? We want to do that. What is wrong with finding the blueprint of success? When it's there. It's been there right under your nose for the last 15 and 20 years. It's there. All you've got to do is replicate it. It's not rocket science. There's no good saying, yeah, we're self-sustaining. I like self-sustaining, but I want to be successful. What is wrong with this people? The mentality of people is that you don't want to win. You don't want to win because simple reason is that it'd be nice to win your trophy in there. We're celebrating 50 years since the double, and that's a fantastic achievement. But what's going to happen is that if we don't watch that in about, 33 years' time, if we're all still alive, we're going to be selling 50 years since we won the league. That's what's going to happen if we carry on like this. I'm not joking, mate. I'm deadly serious. I'm deadly serious.
Anyone that doubts that, just look at the situation they were in. That even today, have, albeit very small amount of people that are making a case for Mikel Arteta to stay, even now. And he finished what? 9th, 10th? What are we talking about here? There was a time 5th weren't good enough. But suddenly that 9th, we're still having a debate. What's going on here? But and what's really scary is that, and I said this to you, Lee, even if we were lower, and we somehow won that cup, you will still have the likes, and you know your usual types, that will make the case that we made progress simply because we fluked that motherfucking cup.
Yep.
That to me is real scary, because that shows how much people are prepared to accept in order to justify their weak case.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not about that. I like to feel like I'm a reasonable person. I never wanted Mikel Arteta in that job because I felt like it would be an embarrassing experiment. And shock fucking horror, that's exactly what it's turned into. We've turned into a circus. And as a result of it, it doesn't seem like we have owners that are strong enough to be able to get us out of that circus. And all I want is to be in a situation where I support a club that no matter what happens, there is strong leadership and there is strong ambition. And if we can't get that through the Kroenkes and we can't get that through Mikel Arteta, then both of you kindly fuck off. Just fuck off.
Exactly. This is the thing as well. Let me come to Afsal real quick here. This is the thing, right? Kenny made a good point. We could potentially be going 30, 40, 50 years without a title here, right? And when you actually look at it, right, you know, you've got, and can I just say this as well, right? There's fans there that had been knocking one out about this manager all season. Even when we were 15th for 5 games straight, people were telling me and you guys in the chat that we're a disgrace to this football club. Yeah. Now, can I just say, right, every single one of them pretty much that I've seen, because I've checked all of their accounts, every single one of them. Yeah, pretty much every single one of them, after that game finished, said, get him out. Okay, so you're basing his and Arsenal's whole fucking future on one football match. You fucking divs. Absolute wrong-uns. So if he had won that game, the bunting would be out, the party poppers would be out, they'd be celebrating, see, he's proved you wrong again. But as soon as he loses, no, that's it, sack him. You lot are part of the issue, yeah? Because if you had actually said and used your accounts properly all season, yeah, we wouldn't be sitting here in 10th with a manager who's out of his depth, relying on beating the former manager to get him out of jail. He would have been sacked months ago. Yeah, embarrassing. What do you make of it, Afsal?
Yeah, the thing is that his error has been there since November, in my opinion. Ever since that Villa game, you know, when we lost 3-0, it's just gone completely downhill since then. You could see then, you know, decisions weren't right and all that stuff. And another thing is, in my opinion, only a top manager now can sort this mess out, because it's a mess, right? For me, 80% of these players are not good enough. If you look at all the other 5, the so-called Big 6, the 5 other clubs in that Big 6, each of those clubs have at least 2 world-class players. Am I correct? At minimum. Like,
yeah.
Spurs have Kane and Son. Liverpool have obviously your Salah. Okay, overall, Mane's class, your Van Dijk's, blah, blah, blah. Them lot. City have obviously a few. I'm not even going to name them because we know their players are world class. United have Bruno, Pogba. Who else there? Chelsea have got Kante, a couple of others. We're the only club in that Big 6, in my opinion, who does not currently have a world class player. Aubameyang, yeah, was great in the past 3 years, but this season he hasn't been anywhere near that level. So in my opinion, we do not have a player which we can go wow about. Like, if you ask any club, any of those other fan bases, is there an Arsenal player that scares you and you think, wow? I guarantee you those fans will say no. I've spoken to other fans in the past couple of days, and they're like, yeah, you know, your manager's very inexperienced. He's not obviously up to the job, and, well, he's not good enough for the job. But your players as well. We look at your team and we don't think, oh, you know, this guy's going to scare us today. You know, wow. You know, and our fans, for some reason, have got this thing at the beginning of each season. They start comparing our players to other clubs' players. No, it happens every yearly. It's been going on for 6 years. It's not just this year, right? So we sign players at the beginning of the season. Then we start comparing them to world-class players of other clubs. For example, we signed Partey. All of a sudden, this guy is the greatest midfielder in the world. He's better than
Kante.
Kante.
He's better than
Henderson. He's better than this Rodri and Fernandinho. He's better than everyone. So there, Willian, we nicked Chelsea's best player in the summer league. We got Chelsea's best summer in the play. According to Arsenal fans, we took Chelsea's best player off them. Yeah. Who else did we get? Odegaard. Yeah, Odegaard. You know what? He has actually some very good touches, but we apparently, according to some of our fans, we got Real Madrid super player. You know, wonder kid. You know, Gabriel. Oh, we nicked the best. You know, upcoming Brazilian defender. You know, it's like all these. Our fans do not help themselves by making all these comparisons. Pepe, the good one was Pepe. Pepe is better than Salah. Pepe is better than Mahrez. You know, I'm like, come on, let these are real comparisons, by the way. You know, you've seen Pepe.
Yeah, I've seen it. Mate, I remember all the way back.
Why
we
don't
could even go back further, Afzal, to Costafi.
further?
Oh, Costafi, they're the best partnership in the league.
Yeah, listen, that's what I'm saying, Lee. It's been going on for 6 years. It's not just under the Arteta or the Emery reign. It's been going on the Wenger reign. So what our fans do is they hype themselves so much before the season that they are expecting us because we've got the best players. Listen, we do not have the best players. Why don't we get these players in? Just keep quiet about them. Let them settle in and let's see how they get on. But that's why in the last 3 years, I've not been excited for one signing because I know how it's like. It is a process how these signings are going. We sign them, everyone gets hyped, they disappoint. I mean, I don't get hyped, Lee. This summer we can sign whoever for 80 million, and everyone will go, yes. I am not going to say a word. You will see me. I'm going to say I'm giving him 6 months, and I'll judge them because you know what. With the Partey signing, I want to be honest. I never saw Partey play. Well, I did obviously when he in the Champions League when he played for Atletico Madrid in a few games, but I haven't seen him on a weekly basis. I can't just play on 3-4 games. I had no idea how he was consistently, but I was told this guy was world class. So in my mentality, I'm thinking this guy's got to be world class, and his performances lately have not been world class. So now I'm thinking, this is a disappointment. You know. Even Pepe, I never saw Pepe play before, and people are telling me this guy's better than Salah. So I'm thinking in my head, all right, I'm matching Pepe to Salah's level. You know, it's that mentality you get, you know, when you sign someone, but he hasn't been at that level. It's an ongoing thing, and you know, you were going on about the process, right? I agree. Chelsea's process is literally that, Lee. Thomas Tuchel could get sacked before Mikel Arteta. Now, I'm being serious because. It's actually true because he could win a trophy. No, he could come. For me, in my opinion, Chelsea are going to get top 4 this year. They're going to win the FA Cup, but I think Man City will beat them in the final. That's a great season, by the way, considering how he came in. Next season, if Tuchel wins nothing, he's going to get sacked. If he comes 4th,
100%.
He's a great manager, but unfortunately, he will get sacked. You know, because that's how Chelsea are. Whereas, so that's what I'm saying. There's a small chance Tuchel could be in the Arteta could last longer than Tuchel. There's a small chance. And I know people are going on about Liverpool's process took 4 years. Well, actually it didn't because in their first full season, Jurgen Klopp took them from 8th to 4th, right? So they actually got Champions League football in the 4th season. In the second season, they got to a Champions League final and came top 4. In the third season, they won a Champions League and they were 1 point off first. In the 4th season, they won the Premier League. So that is what you call a proper process, you know?
That was every season.
No one is saying a process should come mid-table to first because that's impossible, right? I'm not saying the new managers can't come, but process. I want. Sorry. Okay, you're going to say Chelsea. Okay.
Chelsea proved you can do it. Yeah. Chelsea's squad. People will bang on about Chelsea's squad all they like. Yeah. Chelsea's squad when Conte came in. Yeah, had finished 10th. Right. It's still pretty much the same squad.
Correct.
Right? He then got him up to top. Okay. If you look at Thomas Tuchel, he's took him from 9th in the table to 4th in the table.
Correct.
Yeah, he's 18 clean sheets in 24 games when they were shipping like 3s and 4s and stuff against West Broms and that. Yeah, I know he lost 5 to West Brom to be fair, but 18 clean sheets. Look at the teams they have played, Afzal, man. They've played Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. They have played Man United. They've played, I think, Porto. They played Porto. Yeah. Who else did they play? They've played another really hard team. I can't remember. I think it was Liverpool. Yeah, I think it was Liverpool.
I agree. The one thing,
and they barely conceded any goals in them games.
Yeah. I fully agree with you, Lee, but the one thing I'll say to Conte's thing is, before the season they came 10th. They did win the league, and they did have Costa, Hazard, Fabregas, John Terry. The list goes on. They did have great players, and they did win the league the year before. So that can be given as a slight argument, saying, yeah, Chelsea did win the league the year before they came 10th, and they had world-class players, whereas we don't. But okay, regardless of that, what I want to see in this next thing, when people say process, I'm saying, okay, get Champions League football, secure 4th. Then the next season, try and make a challenge for the league. Then the next season, maybe win the league. That is what I call a successful process. The successful process isn't hovering around the same position you were last season. That's not unfortunately a process. Like you said, Thomas Tuchel, his aim now next season, his aim this season was never to win the league when he came in. The aim was to get top 4. He's probably going to do that. Then the aim next season will be to challenge for that title. And if he doesn't do that, then his job might be in a bit of trouble. So you gotta be real. You gotta be realistic. See, I'm very realistic. This new man, if Arteta has to get sacked this summer, right? Just say they get rid of him, right? Yeah. My first aim next season, I'm not even gonna say let's go first. Let's challenge for the title. My aim will be 4th. Get that top 4. If it's 4th, where it's 30 points behind the leaders, whatever, get 4th. That's the new manager's aim. Because I'm realistic enough to know that our players are nowhere near good enough, and we need to overhaul completely. So yeah, you sell a few in the summer, you buy a couple of good players, and then your aim is to get 4th. And then you see like that. I'm not saying the new manager has to win the league straight away, because it ain't going to happen. I'm just saying take steps, but at least take steps forward. There's no point hovering in the same thing. Like last year we came 8th, this year 10th. We haven't had progress. I want to see progress.
Yeah, I totally agree, Afsar. Listen, everything you said is spot on, mate. Apart from the mid-table one, because Leicester done it as well.
Leicester, yes, yeah. But remember, Lee, Chelsea did win a title before they came 10th, and they had.
No, I know that. I understand what you're saying. It's very rare.
We don't have a Hazard or a Costa or a Fabregas or a John Terry.
No, mate, we got Granit Xhaka, so it don't matter, does it?
That's what I'm saying. So for us, it's impossible. Well, let's be realistic.
For us, it's impossible. But Jez, what do you want to see happen now? Obviously, the summer window's coming up. There's a lot of reports saying that we haven't got money. We're going to stick with him. What do you want to see? Because we have got loads of players that shouldn't be here. I get that. But there is some very, very good footballers at this football club that have underperformed under this manager. Would you just try and get as many of these players out the club as you can and the manager and go again? Or would you just try and get the likes of Eddie Nketiah, the Williams, the David Luiz, Ceballos, get all of them gone and keep Aubameyangs and Lackers and players like that? Or what would you do, mate?
Well, having listened to the other guys here, I have great fears of what Arsenal are actually going to do, because unless Arteta goes, he's a major problem in this club. It's a bias to me. Get rid of him. Luiz, Willian, Xhaka, Bellend. I can't stand that bloke. Go and hug some trees somewhere, mate, because you are a phony. And the problem is, Lee, it's deep rooted. This it's like having a really bad tooth, isn't it? We've got Edu, Vinay. They're as bad as the bloody players, man. And unless I see something really positive from the Cronkies, who have got to get this lot out. I maintain, I agree with you. I think it's Josh who's the main man here, and the board, the Arsenal board, mate. I mean, they're bloody useless. What do they actually do? What is their process of actually doing anything at the club? I can't see it. But I honestly fear for this club. In fact, like Kenny said, we could go another, unless there's some big changes this summer and up to next Christmas, I can see us going another 5, 6, 7 years without winning a league championship. And I just think the whole philosophy with Arsenal is wrong. The fan base, there's a lot of idiots out there who, I just couldn't give the time of day to be honest with you. And Arteta has to fucking go. He has to go. It's got to start with him. The guy is clueless. He's inept tactically. I don't think anybody, you speak to any fan And I've spoken to friends of mine who are Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Tottenham. And they've all said the guy's got no tactics.
Yeah.
He's got no vision. You know, he constantly tweaks with the team and mucks it up and pots in players that just cannot beat his club. I mean, he brought on Entekia the other night. What did he actually do?
Why is he even in the fucking squad?
Yeah, why? I mean, you know, okay, he's just signed a new contract. I'd have rather seen Balogun come on.
Yeah, who weren't again in the squad. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Now, I did hear somebody say that he's not in the he's not in the squad for Europe. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
No, that's bollocks. He played in it. He's played in the tournament.
Right, fair play then. There you go.
He was on the bench the other week in Prague. He came off the bench in Prague.
Yes, very true. And I'd have rather seen him come on than Entekia, because he would have come in and he'd have run at 110% and tried to, he wants to make a name for himself. He's a young lad. Entekia, he can go. He's absolute fucking shit. He's done a few goals this year, but he's just not the level of Arsenal, mate. He go and play for Greensbury Town or something. You know, it's just shocking. And
do you see us going out there shopping in the summer window and actually getting it right? Do you think there's going to be big pools of money?
No.
Because let's not forget, we've got to pay back 120 million government grant this month. Yeah, in one lump sum.
Yep. But I think that's going to come from KSE, because that's where the loan was taken, wasn't it? So I don't know. I'm not, up on all the finances. But no, I can't see there's going to be 120 million put on the table. And even if there was, Lee, can you put your heart and faith and trust in Arteta and Edu to buy the right bloody players? Let's be honest, I can't.
No,
I wouldn't give
that's the thing.
£1 to go and buy a bag of fucking crisps. To be honest, they buy the wrong bleeding ones. If I said salt and vinegar, they come back with cheese and onion.
Yeah,
they are, and I just get angry about it, mate. I just do get wound up. I shouldn't, but I do. So.
No, mate, it is very annoying. It is very annoying. Chig, let me come to you, mate, before we wrap this up, mate. So the stage is yours, bruv. Talk to me. What do you think we're going to do this summer, mate? You're on mute.
He was waiting his turn patiently.
Yeah, go on. I can hear you, mate.
Yeah. Fuck all,
yeah? You still think Arteta's going to be here and you still think we're going to go through this again next season?
Yeah. I honestly do. I feel like, for me, if I was trying to strategic this from a business standpoint, especially the owners have had a tough time with the fans recently, you would have had a strong statement to say, do you know what, at the very least I would have expected is, we will at the end of the season discuss Arteta and the club's future once the season's fixtures are concluded. Strong message sent out to the fans. Maybe highlighting also that they are very disappointed with the way the season turned out, and that type of thing. But it's almost like they are. It's almost like they are. It's almost like they're trying to hope that no one remembers that they did speak to Arteta or something. I don't know. It's like they're trying to hope that people forget. And I don't like how slow we seem to be acting on it. And that's my concern. So I feel like, for me, this is an indication that what they'll probably try and do, especially if the next 4 results aren't too bad, is that they'll probably try and say, okay, well, we'll give it until the end of the year, and then at the end of the year, we'll have a look at results, and if you're doing well, we'll keep you in the job. I think that's going to be the tactic. I think that I honestly can't see them doing anything more stronger than that. Now, anything around Daniel Ek or anything else, I think is a different subject. But at the moment, I lean towards them not doing anything before December 2021.
Mate, that's mad. I don't really disagree. I'd like to think that they're going to do something different, but it is looking unlikely at the moment. I expected him sacked real quick, if I'm being honest. But obviously that hasn't happened. So I don't really know, mate. Like this club's just fucked. Big up to McDowell as well. Big up to you, my guy. He's right. The club is rotten. The club is absolutely rotten. And this is the thing. The fact that we haven't sacked him already kind of sums up where we are as a football club, because I think at any other football club, he would have been potty. Kind of sums up where... And I can hear myself back. There's over 1,000 people still watching this. Make sure. 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know why, but loads of my mods have been getting hacked this week, man. It's fun. It's fun. And they're whacking everyone on timeout. Neftali, Omar, and did you just time someone out, Chig?
No.
Okay, well, it says you've timed someone out in the chat. So you've probably been hacked. Oh, this fucking stream, bro. I swear, trying to like the amount of people, everyone who's a moderator is getting unmodded. Yeah, you just have to accept it for now, because anyone who's a mod, yeah, your accounts are being overtaken for some reason. So I'm just gonna have to unmod every single person in the chat. Yeah. You will get it back. I know who the mods are. Yeah, but unfortunately, listen, I can't be having people blocked and everything on this channel. So everyone who's a mod for now is getting unmodded. I'm doing it as we speak. Everyone's gone. So apologies, but that way nobody can get blocked up. Nobody can lose their right to comment and stuff like that. So everyone's getting unmodded as I'm speaking. And anyone who has been blocked, just DM me and I'll unblock you. This is a madness, bruv. Oh, this is fucking bad. It was happening the other day. Omar got blocked hacked the other day. Yeah, and it's happened to Unique and Neftali as well. So, and obviously somebody's just used your account to time them out, mate. So I don't know about you as well, Chig. But yes, we now have no moderators on the channel. And on that bombshell, I think we should probably end the stream. And where's this comment? Where's that? Listen, you fucking punk. You're now getting blocked. How about that one? How are these people, man? Seriously, big up to Roadmap as well. It says Cranky's out. Yes, 100%. Guna Eagle Eyes blocked about 1 million people in the chat. Nice one. Yeah, nice one, chick. And he ain't even using his account. It's mad. It's actually mad. But if YouTube go through these little spells where people like, I don't know. It's just mad. It's like, you know, you go through the spell where you get all the bots that say, "Hi, don't check my videos out" and shit like that. Yeah, and it's like all the girls ones like, "Oh, hi, babes," and like it's all computer. It's all computer generated. It's the same with this shit, bruv. It's mad. So yeah, maybe change your passwords, everybody, and go again. But listen, on that bombshell, we're going to wrap this up. Big up to everyone who has watched live. It peaked at over 1,000, nearly 1,100 at one point. Make sure you subscribe to me. Make sure you go and follow Kenny on Insta. His link is in the description of the video. Kenny Ken 1972. Afsal only wants Emily to follow him. So you know.
I want no one to follow me. I'm a happily married man.
Yeah, happily married. There you go. Jez, his Insta, collins.jez is in the description. Go and follow Jez. And Guna Eagle Eye's channel link is also in the description. If I was you, anyone that has had their account compromised, I'd go and change your password straight away. So yeah, on that bombshell, we're out of here. Big up to everyone. I'll be back again after the Man City Chelsea game. I'll be doing a live video calling show. So make sure you come and check that out. And BootyCon, well, I don't know what we're talking about there. If you wouldn't, I apologize. And you're lucky because I didn't block you anyway. But anyway, listen, we're out of here. Laters.